Welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. So happy to have you with me this evening. Yes, it is an AMA. It is Friday. Usually I do them Friday or Saturday. Tomorrow, I do not think I'll be able to do a show. I'll be doing some family stuff. So I did an AMA tonight. I thought that'd be interesting. You guys can have a chat. We could see about what you were thinking about this week. There have been some things go on this week, and I grabbed a bunch of shows where I just did reactions, kind of giving a good thing, a good response, I guess, to the members who sent me so many things. I know many of you sent me lots of things. I grabbed two that I thought would work. I'll have some more probably for next week. I'll try to do at least one reaction a week. If I can do two, I will. And at least one AMA a week to make sure that I'm connecting directly with the members more than anything else. That is my hope, that I think it should be interesting. But I wanted to start, as I always start, I want to start usually with the idea of what's happening in the week. But today is my 600th show. 600 live shows, 600 Sharpe Way shows. I've done so many other shows, right? So I've done many other shows, probably over 1,000 by now. But when it comes to this live show, a live show where I sit here and chat with you, this is number 600. And some of you may have noticed. You may have noticed what was on the actual thumbnail. Anyone can know what was on the thumbnail? It was Charging Horsemen. And I know that if Phil was here, he would know what that is because he's Mr. Historian. I don't think Phil's on because he probably would have mentioned it already. That is a painting of the Charge of the Light Brigade. Yes, the Charge of the Light Brigade, the 600. And this was a poem that was very important back in the day. This poem, which I will actually, which I think is very, the poem is very important. And the poem is important because it was the last charge, the last time that cavalry charged, the last time. And if I may indulge, if you don't mind, half a league, half a league, half a league onward, all in the valley of death, rode the 600. Forward, the Light Brigade, charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death, rode the 600. Forward, the Light Brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not, though the soldier knew, someone had blundered. Theirs is not to make reply. Theirs is not to reason why. Theirs is but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Cannon to the right, cannon to the left of them, cannon in front of them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell. Boldly they rode, and well, into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600. Flashed all their sabers bare, flashed as they turned in air, sabering the gunners there, charging an army while all the world wondered. Plunged in the battery smoke, right through the line they broke. Cossack and Russian reeled from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon behind them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, while horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell. All that was left of them, left of the 600. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made. All the world wondered. Honor the charge they made. Honor the Light Brigade. Noble 600. I wrote that. I read that because I feel like that is often misunderstood. Where did the story of, it's not, no one, their job, and it's a reason why their job is to do or die, right? The soldiers and the loyalty of the 600. I thought it was a fitting piece to bring up today, just because I think the story is amazing. I think the Light Brigade showed bravery. And what people don't know is, of course, because I'm libertarian, it collapsed because of bad government. For those of you who don't know the actual story of that, that was the Crimean War, 1854. And that charge happened because of blunders in communication. They were not supposed to mount that assault. They literally attacked about 600 cavalrymen, charged a fortified artillery position that was, held by Russians. They attacked. Over 600 went in, and about 250 were killed or wounded, and almost 500 horses were either killed or had to be put down. A lot happened, a lot. And it was the last cavalry charge. And why does that matter? Because they should have learned their lessons. This was 1854. The Civil War, U.S. Civil War, was 10 years away. And World War I was 50 years away. Did they learn anything? Of course not. They learned nothing. But the Crimean War did show two things. It showed the weakness of the Ottoman Empire and the weakness of the Russian Empire. And both of them fell very soon, right? Both of them fell after World War I. They should have learned something, and they didn't. This is the normal thing. They don't learn. Anyway, I thought it was interesting to start the show with that. I hope you enjoyed my poetry reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of interesting. So let me then move on to the three pieces I'm going to bring up real fast that can start this off. Trump, Elon, Luigi. Let me first deal with Trump. Trump tariff, oh my God. Trump tariffs are making the world go nuts. Is this a good idea with these tariffs? I am afraid. Trump often makes me afraid. He does. It's true. He does. But in the past, his stuff has worked worked. It's done what he wanted it to do. That's what I'll say, right? It has done what he's wanted to do in the past. Is this going to happen this time? I hope so. There is at least a sign that it's working. Vietnam has already agreed to have a conversation about going full on free trade, zero tariffs across the board. I hope that is a good sign. I don't know if that is, but I want to believe it. So I'm going to believe it because I want to believe it. I hope it's a good sign. I want it to be a good sign. I would love for this to be something that spurs on massive free trade. The bad side is China is trying to strike out and trying to get others to strike out. The EU is trying to figure out ways on whether it should strike out or not. Why do we care about that? We care about that for a couple of reasons. Number one, will this or will this not bring Russia and China closer together? We don't know that yet. I'm hoping no. Second, will this or will this not affect the Ukrainian war? Will this put the Europeans in a spot where they think they need to show up and act like they're the big boys, they're the tough guys, and they're going to fight against America in militarily, in the market, and then militarily support Ukraine no matter what Trump says? Is that going to happen? I don't think we know. This is the biggest problem that this creates actually is not the tariffs. And you might go, well, tariffs are bad. This isn't the biggest problem. The biggest problem is uncertainty. Markets hate uncertainty more than anything else. Businesses hate uncertainty more than anything else. If I know something is going bad and I'm prepared for it, I feel better. I have control. Okay, I know it's not going to work. How do I deal with it? What do I do? Businesses don't want things to go bad, but would rather be sure they're going bad than not know and just be, oh my God, I know what's going to happen. They can't respond. They can't react. The U.S. is starting to look very uncertain. Its policies are looking uncertain. And now some of our allies are feeling like we are unreliable. That is the biggest issue that's happening here. It's not the tariffs themselves. It is the overall environment. I hope that Trump is correct. He is saying that we're going to have a boom this year. The unions are agreeing with him, and they are saying we're going to have a boom this year. I hope they're right. I am worried, but I'm doing what I always do. Let it go. Let's see what happens. He's been right in the past. Let's hope he's right again. I am concerned, but this unreliability. Do I want to be the guarantor of Europe? No. But I would like to just say, we're done. Not maybe ifs, ands, or buts. We're out. Done. That's the end. That's what I would like to do. Just end it. And then the Europeans know, don't expect us. We're going to come over here and become rich again and forget about you guys, and good luck with that. They may not like it, but then they would be sure. They would know what's going to happen. I guess you better stop building tanks. That's all I can tell you. Good luck. But build a Navy, whatever. Good luck. We got stuff to do. I would rather it be that way than this way. That's what I'm hoping within a year, this will settle and it will be reliable. I don't know if it will. Elon. Elon is having some trouble. He's having some trouble. I think he is going to walk away from Trump. I think he is. I don't think Trump wants to get rid of him. I think that is not true. I think Trump is fine getting rid of him, but doesn't want to. I think what people are saying that Elon is making Trump look bad. I disagree completely. If you look at the polling and what people are saying and thinking and the barbershops and all those things, right? All of those, people are blaming Elon for Elon. They're not blaming Trump for Elon. Most people who already don't like Trump also hate Elon. So that there's no change, right? If you already hate Trump, you're done. Hate Trump, done. You're going to hate Elon too. But those who are mad at Elon are not also hating Trump. You can see that now in the polling and everything they're doing. So Elon's kind of taking a lot of the pain himself. Trump's not mad about that. I wouldn't be mad either. Elon's taking a big hit here. But here is what I believe. Elon Musk isn't about Tesla. And a lot of people think that, well, Tesla and that's the end. No. Basically what Elon Musk is, and it's going to sound crazy, Elon Musk is himself a personal private equity firm. I'm not joking. What? I thought he owns Tesla and space. Yeah. No, Tesla he just invests in stuff. He's actually a private equity firm. I mean, not officially. Officially, he's not a private equity firm. In practice, he is a private equity firm. So what is he going to do? If Tesla goes well, awesome. If it doesn't, he'll just reinvest in something else. That's what he'll do. And people will follow him. Because generally speaking, with the exception of his last crash, when Elon invests in something, it makes money. That's a truth. Whether you like Elon or not, when he invests in stuff, it tends to make money as a stock. Stocks don't make money. So he'll invest in something else. Plus, he'll turn Tesla into like an AI company, or he'll turn SpaceX into I don't know, whatever, some other company, whatever. He'll invest in the new cool thing, so he will be fine. People think they're somehow hurting him. They're not. For the people on the left who believe, we're going to get him, and no, you're not going to get him. I don't mean to be mean. I'm just being forward. He is going to easily bounce back from that because his reputation is still strong. Big heavy hitters still trust him and think he does understand the future, which he does. That's true. He often will make a small error, but then explode someplace else. That's a common thing he does. And nobody grifts off the government better than him. And when I say that, I mean that in both the worst and best ways. Nobody grifts off the government better than Elon. Nobody does. So wherever the government goes, Elon will grift off of it, guaranteed. He will still keep making money. And whatever, he'll make AI his next thing, or he'll make whatever is the cool thing. He will move on to that. So that's the piece that people don't get. And if you are on the left and you care about the environment, you destroying Tesla is making Tesla bad. You're just hurting electric cars. The only other option you have for electric cars, realistically, is Chinese cars. BYD has great cars. Now they're basically blocked in United States. You can't really get them because we don't let Chinese products come in. Right now, we're going to tariff the hell out of them so they'll be expensive or whatever. But that's all that's left. So if you want an electric vehicle, you have to buy a Chinese now. Because there's no one else really doing anything. Ford's not really doing anything. I mean, they are, but they're not. It's really Tesla and Chinese companies. So yeah, that's where Elon is. Luigi, the last piece I'll bring up before I go to questions and comments. The way they're treating Luigi is an embarrassment of our justice system. I'm not saying Luigi should not be tried. I'm not saying that at all. Of course he should be tried. And if he's guilty, of course he should be punished. Of course. But they are seeking the death penalty. Why? Well, because he shot this guy in cold blood. Happens literally every day across the country. Somebody is shot in cold blood every day in this country. Why is Luigi got to get the death penalty when New York State doesn't have death penalty? Everything Luigi did was in New York State. He came to New York State, did the damage in New York State. It allegedly killed the guy in New York State. Why aren't you following New York State law? Because we caught him in Pennsylvania. So that is an excuse for the feds to come in and give him the death penalty. Why? Because what he did, he killed the elite. And it's so obvious that's the reason. Allegedly. He allegedly killed. And you might go, Larry, we saw it. I am open to the government lying anytime. So it is possible the government made all this up. I have no idea, but I'm open to that. But my point being, If he had taken out me or you or anybody else you know, he'd be just a regular guy going to a regular court in New York. He'd probably get 15, 20 years, whatever the number is. They charge him with some kind of manslaughter, murder, whatever, and that'd be it. He wouldn't get death penalty. New York State does not have death penalty. Because he killed the elite, now we got to give him death penalty. And what's happening? People are starting to doubt this. There's a chance he might walk. That could happen. He might walk. Now, I doubt it, but it's a chance now. Before, there was no chance he would walk. Now there's a chance. And the reason why there's no chance, it's federal. Federal conviction rates are over 99%. So he's getting convicted. That's how it works. If you go into the federal court system, unless you have 7 figures to spend, I'm not joking. If you don't have 7 figures to spend on your defense, and you don't have consultants like me, because I have beaten the federal government, yes, I have. If you don't have those type of consultants on your team, and you don't have 7 figures to spend, you're guilty, you're going to jail. That's how it works. Just plead, don't waste your time. Plead, don't waste your money. Accept you're going to jail. Try to get the best deal you can in the plea bargain. Get a hardcore lawyer who can fight hard in the plea bargaining deal. Make it happen and walk away. Because if they actually put you on trial, you're done for. That's how that works. Again, unless you have 7 figures and you can hire consultants like me on your team, you're going to jail. So they're trying to get him to go away because he must be a lesson to all of them. You guys want to shoot each other in the street? That's fine. You can do that. We don't care about you guys. We don't care about the poors. You poors can be shot all day. We don't care. All day long. Every day, just get shot. We don't care. You guys are poors. We don't care. Oh, elites? No. Now, again, if he did it, he should be punished to the full extent of whatever law in New York State there should be. 100%. He should be. But they're not doing that. They are trying to make sure that they execute him. And that's wrong. All right, anyway, let me move on forward if I can. I will grab a bunch of your comments and questions, and we'll walk down these. So let me grab a couple of these if I can. So Liberty Lady says, episode 600, LFG, yes, let's effing go. I agree. I hope my poetry was good enough for you guys. I've never read a poem live before, but I figured, it's 600. Let's do it. Yes. So Space Jason is over on Rumble. He says, Tesla already has an AI company. Yes. And it'll be just fine, especially when the FSD driverless cabs become ubiquitous. Yes. Driverless cabs coming out. Yes. Yeah. So he's going to be fine, right? Don't get me wrong. Is this a smack for Elon? It is. He did get smacked. It is a smack, but it's only a smack. He will get around this, but it is a smack. I'm sure he's not happy about it because it is a pain in the ass for no reason. But if he is the ideologue that I think he is, if he is that guy who really believes his own, talk, then he's okay with it. Like he will put up with it because he believes that he's going to be the guy who's going to save humanity. And I think he does believe that. I think he believes his own hype. I think he does. And that's why he does what he does. He believes his own hype. So I think he'll do it. So yes. So Vivek says, how can/should Donald Trump govern in a more libertarian way? He should put some libertarians in his cabinet. That would be nice. First step, have some libertarian advisors. That would be the one thing, right? His advisors are all Republicans or MAGA people, 1 or 2. And Laura Loomer showed up and got them fired, right? Laura was on my show, by the way. I know Laura. She did my show because she knows me. So, and she's way bigger than me. Like Laura's way bigger. You guys often ask if I can get people on the show, right? Laura's way bigger than me. Why would she go on my show? Only because she knows me. Otherwise, she wouldn't do it. So yeah, she has to give my show. So she went in there and she's like cleaning house. And yeah, he should put some libertarians. That's the first thing you should do. Put some actual libertarians. He talked about, having Rand Paul, whatever. Where'd that go? Nowhere. So yeah, that would be the first thing you should do. Then they would advise him on what libertarians think. If you saw recently, I don't know if you're paying attention, Vivek, even Dave Smith has come kind of forward and said, and Dave Smith backed Trump. He voted for him. He said to vote for him. He backed him. He said, if he actually starts a war in Iran, he would apologize for supporting Trump for the rest of his life. He said he admitted he made a mistake and would. So yeah, a lot of libertarians are starting to get worried. It's true. Libertarians are starting to get worried that he's not doing enough. I'm not, and let me explain why. I didn't expect that much. Vivek. I've been saying this for a long time, and I think it's been coming to pass. Trump is transactional. And believe it or not, Trump does actually care about his reputation. He does. Why? Again, as I told you before, he is literally a New York City developer. Reputation's everything. That's how you get stuff done in this city. That's how you do it. That's who he is. So he's transactional. If he's going to try his best to follow the letter of the law of every contract. He will try. If not, he's going to go to a court to get the ruling. That's what he does, right? He tries that. His deal with libertarians is very simple. If you support me, I'll free Ross, and I'll put some kind of libertarian in my cabinet somehow. That's what he said. About 500,000, give or take, libertarians voted for him. So about 500,000 accepted him. More RFK supporters voted for him than libertarians. What did he do? He freed Ross. Day 2. Done. And Angela Mercado has said that RFK Jr. is officially libertarian, which is true. RFK Jr. is officially, he is a lifetime member of the Libertarian Party. That's true. And he's in HHS. So he is done. And Trump was like, I'm done. I'm not surprised. Do I wish he'd be libertarian? Yes, I do. I want him to be more libertarian. But I'm not as angry because I didn't expect it. I expected him to do 2 things because that's what he said. And that's what he did. Now he's like, thanks, guys. I'm done. He went to the Maha people. And the Maha people said, we want Kennedy in your camp, in HHS. He went, okay. About 3 or 4 million Maha people voted for him. RFK Jr. people voted for him. And he went, okay. And he put RFK in HHS. Thanks, guys. I'm done. He did his deal. I don't expect anything else from him. I hope from him, Vivek. I hope. I don't expect it. That's why I'm not mad. I knew he was transactional. He did it. He said it. He did it. Next. That's where he is. I'm just being forward, right? I'm just being forward. So, yeah. Dave said to Vivek, Trump should govern a more libertarian way, but he won't. I'm kind of with you, Dave. I'm kind of with you. Again, I'm just not surprised. That's all. I'm just not surprised. Ymir says, live for government. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. Kay John says, I can think of 600 reasons why this will be great. Aw, that's sweet. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes. Dave goes on to say, I'm thinking about the stock market entering a bear market thanks to Trump's tariffs. Yeah, I think it's true. And the good and the bad to that. The bad to that is a lot of people are going to suffer. The good to that is if you happen to be wealthy, it's Christmas. There's a thing called burning your books. Some of you may know what this is. Burning your books is what financial advisors do. It's done so often, there's a name for it. Mike used to be a stockbroker. He might know. If Mike Bosling is watching, so he might know this term. What burning your books is, when you are a heavy hitter financial advisor, generally speaking, the 80-20 rule exists, meaning 80% of the assets you have under management come from 20% of your clients. Sometimes 10%, but about 20%. 80, and the rest, 20% come from 80%. So what do? When you know stuff's going to collapse, you tell your 20% first. Yes, you tell them first. Why? They start getting out. You start making them liquid, right? They start getting out now before it collapses. They get out early. You don't tell the rest of you guys. You don't tell your top 20%. You don't tell 80%. You just tell 20% first. They start getting out. They start getting liquid, right? They start selling assets, getting liquid, blah, blah. They start doing that kind of getting liquid to the best of their ability, right? Then, the asset prices fall. As they start falling, you then tell your 80%, hey, stuff's falling. You want to get out now or you want to stay in? They all get scared. You advise them to get out. The 80% all get out. When they get out, all the prices come down. Prices come down on stocks. Prices come down on assets. Prices come down on housing, everything. Well, now, who's liquid? Well, your wealthy people are. They all love you. What do? You get them back in, buying above the assets again. And the 80% got screwed. They got burned. So you burned your books. You kept the top 20%, now became bigger. And then you go out and get some small guys here or there to come back to refill your 80%, but you just made your 20% even happier. And they keep saying to you. And that's what happens in this kind of market. So, Dave, if you happen to be a 20%er, you're good. If you're 80%er, I'm sorry. If you're an 80%er, here's what I would do. Do not listen to your financial advisor right now. Don't listen to him. That's my advice to you. Is that financial advice? No, that's life advice. That's life advice. Because if you're not the 20%, You getting burned. That's how that works. Anyway, just interesting concept. James says, no third term. If Trump gets a third term, he'll be the next FDR. Ask the Japanese how that turned out for them. It sounds like people, and maybe Trump himself, wants to be the next FDR so bad. I agree with you on this one, right? And I'll be very forward. If Trump's gamble fails, there is no chance of a third term. He will be booed out, and it will actually wreck the Republican Party, right? He will actually be booed out of the Republican Party if it completely fails. Now, again, I'm not saying it will. But here's the opposite, James. If what he says actually does work, he says, I'm just saying what he says. He says U.S. is going to boom this year. He's about 2 years before you see massive change, what he's saying. But this year, he's saying it's going to boom this year, and you're going to see the results in 2 years. That's what he's saying. Okay. The unions are saying you're going to see the results in 1 year. That's what they're saying. Okay. If that's true, if he brings in this time of free trade, if he actually makes the U.S. boom, he will go down as one of the greatest presidents of the 21st century, guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's 100 guaranteed. He is gambling. I think you're right. I think he wants a Nobel Peace Prize, and I think he wants to be the next FDR. I agree with you. I think he wants both of them. He's gambling to get both. He is. He is gambling to get both. And he might, right? If both gambles pay off, I mean, if he actually ends, again, I'm not saying he can do it. These things are tough, right? If he could actually end the Ukraine war and end the Israeli-Gaza war, where both sides are satisfied, if he can end them both with both sides being satisfied and boom the American economy, he will be the greatest president in the 21st century, if he can do those things. And he has taken them on. I'm not sure if I were president, I would take all those on. I'm just being very forward with you, James. He has taken all of that on. That is a massive gamble. But again, huge payoff if he wins. I mean, imagine if those of you don't like him, right? I know a lot of you don't like him. I get it. What if he's actually right? And the U.S. economy booms in 2 years. I don't know how, but okay, let's say. And he ends those two wars this year. Be amazing if he does. So I think you're right. I think he does want it. And people will get upset because they think his motivation is not a glory, is not a wonderful altruistic motivation. You're totally right. He's not altruistic. This is selfish. But I don't care. Right? I'm going to give you both things can be true. I'm sure it's selfish. And I don't care. If he can do those both things, give him the awards. Fine, take it. I don't mind. Just get it done. I don't care why you're doing it. I don't need you to virtue signal. Get it done. I don't care if it's selfish. And it is, but I don't care. So yes. IC says, young Larry in uniform. That is a picture of me, by the way, in the thumbnail of me in uniform. I think I was in either Korea or Japan then. I was on a dock off of a ship we were on. And I was out on Liberty with a bunch of my buddies. I was a corporal back then. And I have another picture of me as a sergeant, but that was me as a corporal. I think I was 19, 20, something like that. So that was a lot of years ago. It was a lot of years ago. Correct. I'm glad you noticed. So yes. All righty. Mike says, really, the Light Brigade, given the current geopolitical climate? Well, yes. I thought it was interesting. It is a charge of 600 episode, right? So look, I would like us all to be as brave as the Light Brigade, right? As brave as to charge into the valley of death, which is what they did, right? And when they came out, they literally, I mean, it was a loss, obviously. I mean, you lose 2/3 of your horses, 1/3 of your soldiers. It's obviously a loss, right? But I mean, they went down in history, and I would rather us do that than do nothing, if that makes any sense. It was a broken system. Mike, you and I've done it. You ran for office. I ran for office and got our ass kicked. We were the 600. We rode into the valley of political death, and we came out, and we're still stronger. So I think we can do it. So yeah, kind of. All righty. Anthony asks, do you think there will ever be a point where we can opt in and out of taxes that we want to pay for and not pay for? No, no, that's not a thing. We will either have taxation or not. There won't be an opt-in or opt-out thing. That's not how it works. Taxation is by default socialistic, so everyone must pay or no one pays. That's how it works. So no, that will never happen at all. The reality of it is, you would have to create some form of, fee for service that you might see, right? I want this, okay, I pay for it. That might happen, right? Something like that might happen, but there's no way it's like, well, pay taxes if you want. Never. No. And then there'll never be a check the box for, I want my taxes to go to war. I want mine to go. No, because then where are the laws, right? That would give all the power to the people. They're not letting that happen, Anthony. That's not going to happen, right? Because Congress has to be able to give out money and give out jobs and create laws that force you to do stuff. If you could pick and choose, well, then what value would Congress have? They're never giving that right up. So while it would be better, and I like that concept, that ain't going to happen. So, but thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Joan says, thank you for sharing your perspective and insights regarding present issues in society and government. Oh, thank you. I hope I'm giving you guys interesting info back and forth. And speaking of that, if you like what I'm saying, click the button known as like. Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Click it now. Why do I want you all to click it? Because I'm a narcissist and I want your love? Well, yes, but that's not why I want you to click it. I want you to click it because if you click it, Mr. Rhythm, Al Gore, last name Rhythm, that guy, he loves it and he shares it to more places if lots of people like it. So do that. It does matter. It helps. Not just that, repost this if you would. Now share this someplace else. Put it someplace else. Put it into a Facebook group. Put it onto YouTube. Put it onto Twitter, X. I don't care. Someplace else so people can follow me. But more importantly than that, guys, something special is going to happen here. This Sunday, 2 days from now, April 6th, whenever you're listening to this, April 6th at 10 a.m., I will be on the No Sound Bites Allowed show on YouTube. I will be there. It is Mike Voss's show. And by the way, it is his birthday. It is Mike Voss's birthday. And he's already crazy and does like 37-hour shows or whatever he does. He does a special show every Sunday for 12 hours. He's extra nuts, 9 to 9. Yes, you're going, he's going to be on for 12 hours? Yes, he will be on for 12 hours. I don't know why, but yes, he will do it. So I will be on. He will be on from 9 to 9. I will be on at 10. So if you want to watch him for the whole thing, please do so. Don't have a life. Just watch Mike for 12 hours. I would love you to do that. But not just that. You can watch me specifically with him at 10 a.m. on Sunday. So please go over to No Sound Bites Allowed, the YouTube page. Please go there. Watch at least at 10. If you can watch early, watch early. But at least at 10, watch when they're there. And more importantly, he is raising money for a very important organization called the Jericho Project. The Jericho Project helps out veterans. It's veteran housing, right? Veteran housing for vets who are in trouble. I've worked for them before. Mike knows them. They're here in New York City. The money, part of the money he raises is going to go to them. So you can help veterans who are in trouble. You can hang out with me and Mike for 12 hours. No, I'm not being 12 hours. I'll be there for a while. I might give Mike an hour or two. I'm not getting 12. Mike, I love you. I'm not giving you 12 hours. But I might give you an hour or two. I will. And talk to Mike for 12 hours and me for like 1 or 2. Do that on Sunday, starting at 9 a.m. for him. I will be on at 10. No sound bites allowed. Please do so. It's great. Excellent. Let me move on. If I may, I'm moving to more questions. Oh, one more thing. If you want if you do want your question to go right to the front, then super chat me on YouTube or rant me on Rumble. Either of those two. Again, I am more lenient on AMAs. I do take a lot more comments where many have to skip, and I go right to members and right to super chats when I'm on normal shows. AMAs, I open up a bit more. So yeah, but if you want to go right to the front, super chat me or rant me on Rumble, either one, and you go right to the front. All righty. Let me keep going if I can. All righty. Mike says, a Trump third term is just a troll of the media. Distraction that TDS can't avoid frothing at the mouth over. Very fun to watch. No, my friend. Steve Bannon's open about it. Steve Bannon is going to have a lawsuit. I can guarantee that. I'm not sure what it's about. As I talked before, there's two different ways of suing to see if the Supreme Court will allow it. So he could do it. He could do it. He could actually try to get the amendment repealed. He could do it. Look, Bannon is a machine. This guy is a crazy ideologue. You know, Steve Bannon is that. If anyone can do it, it's him. So you will see he will do something. He will either do a lawsuit or he'll try to get an amendment. He will try something. He is serious about Trump. He's not joking. And here's Trump. Is Trump going to actively do anything? No, he's not. Trump saying that stuff is trolling. Trump's part is trolling. That you're correct on. Trump's part is trolling. But Trump supporters are not trolling. Trump supporters are real. They are about doing it. And if they're able to get the Supreme Court to go, yeah, he can run again, Trump will absolutely run again. There is no doubt. And he will call it his fourth term. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. If his supporters allow him to, he will. And there's precedent. What's that precedent? Oh, Mike, you know it. It's Bloomberg. Bloomberg went against term limits. For those who don't know, there's term limits in New York City mayor. Governor, no. New York governor, no. New York City mayor, yes. You only have 2 terms. Well, Bloomberg got 3. Why? Because I'm Mike Bloomberg. That's why. He basically said, how much is it going to cost me? I'm going to write my check. How much you say? Okay, okay, there's a check. And he got term 3. I'm not joking. Yeah. Christopher, how are you, sir? Thank you for the $5. Congratulations on number 600, Larry. Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that. I still keep going, right? For some silly reason, I keep going. But yeah, so I will have more live shows coming up here again and again and again. Morgan says 600 episodes. Congratulations, Larry Shaw. Oh, thank you. Yes, I keep going. Yes, for some reason. Mike out to say tonight. He says tariffs are not about revenue. It's about long-term survival. America needs to rely on itself. And this is the way to wean the nation off of foreign dependence. Again, I hope you're right. But you know this as well as I do, Mike. If there isn't success with that in the next 2 years or before his term is over, he'll get no credit. You know he won't, right? Say you're right and the success comes in 10 years. That president will gain all the credit for it, whatever it is. That president will be like, yeah, we're independent and it's because I'm so good. And they will forget what Trump did because that's how that works. Yes. But I hope you're right. I hope you're right. That's my issue. So yeah. IC says, if COVID taught us anything, it's that we're way too dependent. Accurate statement, IC. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying Mike's wrong. I'm saying, how does the American people, how do they react to this? Right? How do they react to this is my issue. The American people are not going to accept 4 years of pain for this. Even if this is correct, right? I see, even if you're right, they're not. They're going to punish Trump. They're going to punish Republicans. And they're going to just let Democrats do something else dumb because I feel pain now. That's how Americans are. So I hope you're right. I hope there's some success. I hope it's true. So, but I'm just being realistic again, as always. You've seen it already. Americans give a guy about 2 years. That's about as much as they'll give. If they don't see something changing within about 2 years, no. Josh asked the question. Thank you for being a member, Josh. Anyone at YowCon Atlanta this weekend? Is anyone going to be there? I will not be. They didn't ask me to come. Yow doesn't usually ask me to do stuff. I used to go there, but not much anymore. They don't ask me. So I don't usually go. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll start showing up at YowCon again. I used to go. I'll go say something. We'll see. John says, again, thank you for being a member. Larry, car dealerships in my area are full to the brim. I'm not sure where they're going to put new ones. I don't think the tariffs are going to help. Yeah. Again, my worry becomes if we don't have if we don't have people buying things because they're afraid, that slows everything down. I agree. Right. I'll go back to my first piece, John. The worst part of this is the uncertainty, not the tariffs. Are the tariffs going to stay? Are they going to go? And the next thing is, this is the part that the Democrats who are about their abundance mindset, if you've read that book or seen that book that's come out, Abundance, what they have been able to put into place, which is the regulation and the environment in America is not good for business. in most states for building things. I should say for building things, it's not. So if you want to build a manufacturing plant, I mean, it's going to take you 2-3 years. We don't just build them anymore. It's not a thing. You can't. The regulations slow us down. California is one of the worst. So you have to hope these people are moving into states that have a very easy building code, like Texas is very easy to build in Texas, right? Places like that. That's one of the reasons why when I was, I spoke to be forward, I spoke to Glenn Beck years ago. Glenn Beck wanted to go to New York. He loves New York. I wanted him to come to New York. This is years ago, 2019, 2020. He wanted to go to New York, 2018 probably. He wanted to go to New York. And he was like, Larry, if I do this, I want to build this whole thing. I'm like, you can't do it in New York. It's impossible. It's like, I know. So he went to Texas. When I was in the show, I had to go to Texas. I wish I could have gone to New York. He wanted to build a facility in New York. Couldn't do it. It would have taken him forever and cost him twice money. He went to Texas, built in the year. I mean, if you've been, any of you have seen how his system works, where he is at, I mean, it's massive. He's got like floating cameras and multiple studios. It's a massive facility, right? At Rogan, same thing, massive facility. Went to Texas, easy to build. So if any places are going to grow, it's going to be states that's easy to build. It's relatively easy to build in South Carolina, which is why the car companies went there. South Carolina is relatively easy to build compared to other states. So you're going to go to places where you can easily build. So, John, I'm not sure where you are, but they may be moving. That'd be the issue. So, IC says, Elon has only 13% share in Tesla. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, but that makes sense, right? He basically is a private equity firm. That's what he actually is, right? He's basically a private equity firm. So, yeah. Tommy says, Republican Party works for corporate. Trump is a isnist, of course, ignorant POS of a human being. Right-wing Christians are fans of the Losum POS. Trump probably was S the first time. I'm sorry, I'm not saying the full words, Tommy, because I'm on YouTube. I don't want to get canceled. So people can read this, and if they know the words that I'm saying. Fox News makes morons of Christians. Trump, a con that will keep on grifting this country. Grift, I think, his fans, grift investors, grift students, and sell free Bibles for $100 to Christians. I can see where your head is, Tommy. I understand. The issue here is the Republican Party does work for corporate, accurate, but Democrats do too, right? That the idea that only one side works for corporate, if that wasn't true, the far left wouldn't have left Democratic Party, and it has. The far left has left Democratic Party because the Democrats also work for corporate. Both of them work for corporate. Trump being the F word is not true. People say that all the time. It's not true. If it were true, where are the camps for Americans? I mean, he's throwing other people out, but where are the Americans? Fascists will take care of Americans too, right? Where are the camps? Not there. Why didn't he just take over last time? Why didn't he just stay last time? He could have just stayed. Could have had the military on his side and stayed. He didn't. If he does it this time, you'll be right. Right? If this time he says, I'm not leaving, I'm staying, you'd be right. Otherwise, he's not. And the problem with calling everybody the F word is that no one is. Right? There's no armbands. There aren't people being rounded up, except for the aliens, obviously. They are. But Americans aren't being rounded up. It's not a thing. They're not all being executed. We're not invading countries. Not yet. I mean, we might. So maybe you're right soon, but not yet. At this point, they've been calling him that for so long, it bounces off, Tommy. Think about it. I want you to think about this for a second. People have been calling him this for years, probably 10 years now, for years. And America still picked him over Harris. America did. They picked him over Harris. How bad was Harris? Remember, fascists don't just randomly come into power. That's not a thing. It's never happened ever. That's not a thing. They come into power because the current establishment can't do its job. So people fall back to that. That's how that works. The establishment can't do its job. So people fall back to whoever has answers. And fascists always have answers every single time. They're not always great answers, but they do. So even if he is, maybe I'm wrong and he is. Okay. That's the establishment's fault. They enable it. And attacking and calling people names doesn't help. You are now calling right-wing Christians loathsome POSs. You're calling Fox News people morons. You're making them all insulted. Do you think they're going to come to your side? You think now they're going to go, wow, Tommy insulted me. I'm going to go to Tommy's side. They're not. Now they're just going to call you names. In fact, now they're more likely to go to Trump. And that's the biggest piece. People look at people like Jordan Peterson or worse, Joe Rogan, Tulsi Gabbard, all those people, and go, they're all sellouts or whatever. No, they're not. They were insulted the same way you just made the insults by so many people on the left that they felt unheard in the left. And who opened their arms to them? The right did. So they went to the right. And when they didn't make everything the way the left wanted, they were insulted and attacked. So they went to the right because they were heard. I know I felt it when I ran for governor. When I ran for governor in 2018, Tommy, the left was horrible to me. Insulting, dismissive, terrible to me. It made my whole campaign move to the right. And I didn't mean to do it. I wasn't like trying to do it. If anyone was part of my campaign, then you know, I wasn't trying to go right. It wasn't what I was trying to do. But I wound up going that way. Why? Because only the right would listen to me. Then they get mad at me. So Glenn Beck would have me on a show once or twice. I know Glenn Beck, so that's why they let me on a show. I went on the show twice. And now the left hated me more. Well, I asked to be on your shows, and you wouldn't put me. You ignored me. You treated me like a garbage. You called me names, like you're calling people names now. They called me names. They called me all horrible things. The left was terrible to me. So they wouldn't put me on their shows. So I had two choices. Shut up and go away, which is what they wanted to do, or go to the right because the right would listen to me. The right would hear me. This tactic you're using, Tommy, doesn't work. It's why this tactic you're using right now is the reason why Republicans own the House, the Senate, the presidency, and the Supreme Court. This tactic is why. I am a libertarian. I want everyone on the planet to be libertarian. Now, obviously, I'm never going to get that. But I don't use insults to do that. I use conversation, and I try to talk to people to get them to come to my way, to at least see me as a human being, to at least see me as a person, if they disagree with me, to see me as a person and have a conversation and recognize that I'm not just going to insult you and that I'm actually going to talk to you. That's why I do what I do. Tommy, you have every right to do whatever you feel is appropriate. You do you. I'm not insulted by what you say. I've heard worse. It's all good. I don't know if that was meant to me or anybody else. But I hope you see that tactic, while it may feel good and it may preach to the choir, it's not helpful. It doesn't help. Even if true, even if everything you said in that is true, it's not helpful. It's not going to get people to go, oh my God, he was right. It's not going to work. So anyway, thank you for being here and giving me a comment. Pete, coming in on time. 36 trillion, 214 billion, 426 million, 211,000. $363.76, the national debt. And he posted that about half hour ago. So it's more expensive than ever. Thank you, Pete. Michael says, Luigi will have no trouble raising 7 figures. Correct. Pete goes on to say, Republicans are on the verge of passing what could be the biggest spending bill in history. What? That's impossible, Pete. Wait a minute. No way. Republicans are against spending, right? This cannot be true. What's going on? I thought I voted for smaller government, not this. Yeah, you did think that. No, you didn't. All the talk about reducing spending and and reining in the deficit feels like a bait and switch. Yes. When they're pushing trillions in tax cuts and new spending with barely a whisper of real cuts. Disappointed to see the same old Washington game. Promise less government, live in more debt. Here's all I'm going to say here, Pete, and I have to be hopeful here because I have no other choice. I'm going to hope that this Doge idea actually works, and next year you will see a cut in our budget. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'll go back to this. If, and this is a big if next year's budget has $500 billion cut or more, I will say Doge is successful, if that's true. Initially, if you remember, Elon said he was going to cut the budget by $2 trillion. And I openly said, that's impossible, never going to happen. That's a fantasy. I said it right immediately, never going to happen. I said, I'd be happy to do $1 trillion, right? I cut it in half. Then he later realized, he's like, okay, this is never going to happen. He then said $1 trillion. If you remember, he changed his mind. Smart move. You were never going to get $2 trillion out of our budget. That was never going to happen, right? That was a fantasy. He said $1 trillion. I think that's a fantasy too. So I then cut that in half. And I said $500 billion. And if he actually does $500 billion, if that happens, Pete, success. I'm in. When Milei came in Argentina, if you remember, I said I'm going to give him a year. And I didn't really talk much about him. I waited a year. And then I said what happened in a year. And I've said it before, now stand by it. Overall success. Overall, there was some pain and some problems. But overall, Milei has been a success. If you don't think so, you're not paying attention. That's why you don't hear the left yell at Milei anymore. Remember they were talking about how evil he was? The left was how horrible he is? Now they're talking about him much more because they know he's successful. Right? That's true. I'm hoping Elon and Trump will be successful. I'm giving them a year. I said I was. I'm giving them a year. Next year, I'll start saying yes or no. If he's ended these wars, if there's $500 billion in reduction in the budget, then I'll say they're successful. I will. 100%. I will. So anyway, Missy shows a Laura Loomer piece. There's her. She's there. She is. Laura Loomer does love Trump. That's not an act. To be very forward, that is not an act. Laura does love Trump. Like she thinks he's a great guy. She thinks he's wonderful. She is insanely loyal to him. So yes, that is not an act. If you think she's acting, you don't know her. She does really. She thinks Trump is great. She loves him. Just saying that. Yes. Dave says, I thought RFK Jr. and Angela McArdle win the Trump administration. RFK Jr. is, and officially, Dave, he is a libertarian. So officially, he has fulfilled his promise. Yes. I don't think Angela is yet. I don't think she is. But maybe she will be, but I don't think she is right now. So yes. Anyway. Dave goes on to say, I expected Trump to screw up Doge. He didn't disappoint. I don't know yet. As I just said, I don't know yet. That's all I'm saying. Yes. Josh says, Larry Sharpe for president. Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Yes. Phil says, what do you think about this being a bubble pop? 50% of growth from the S&P 500 was from stocks. There absolutely is a bubble. It's true. And I think it's going to pop this year. But it was going to pop years ago. The problem is we just kept throwing a bunch of money at the problem. We just kept throwing cash at it from the government. It should have popped a long time ago. It's got to pop eventually. But my hope is it bounces. Is my hope. We'll see what happens, Phil. But I think there's an everything bubble, and it's in real estate again. We've learned nothing, right? The charge of the 600. We've learned nothing. The banks are just as powerful as they always have been, and they'll require a bailout again, and we will bail them out again. Let me be very clear. We will bail them out again. 100% we will. Of course we will. Because the world will end if we don't bail the bankers out. We will bail them out. So, Dave, it says I'm a 20%er and I'm an 80%er. I'm not sure which one you are. You might get burned. You might get burned, brother. Just be worried. You might get burned. So, yeah. Let me keep going down here if I could. Guys, if you haven't already followed me on Sharpe Way and Facebook and X and Rumble, please do so. Follow me on all of those. It does matter. Every little follow also matters. I'm asking a lot of you guys because the more you guys jump on board, the more this moves, right? And that's what I want. It does move. Please do that. This is an AMA, so I'm taking all the questions I possibly can. I appreciate you guys being here. I know you like the AMAs. That's why I do them every week. And I try to give you the best inside baseball I can possibly give you so you understand how things actually work with the people that I do know and that I don't know. I don't know everybody, but the people that I know, I tell you. People I don't know, I tell you too, whatever it is. So, yes. And again, 10 a.m. this Sunday, no sound bites allowed. Don't forget. It is important. Let me keep going. All righty. Rick says, like if you're glad that Larry ran for office and lived. Yes, I did live. Correct. Michael says, maybe both parties will collapse. The Libertarian Party will rise to the top. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Absolutely. I hope so. John says, Larry, I thought the Cory Booker stunt this week didn't give him as much traction as he wanted. I said that. It's going to go away. I said that, yesterday, day before yesterday? It goes away. That's a silly little thing. It goes away. But if AOC would have done it, I think it had been over the moon beneficial for her. No, AOC is doing exactly the right thing. Her outward Bernie is exactly the right answer. She is setting herself up for the future. Right now, AOC is killing it relative to what the Democrats are doing. Most Democrats are suffering. Cory Booker was a stunt again, to take the minds off of Schumer. If so, any of you have been paying deep attention, the Democrats who are still trying to get rid of Schumer are still floating more stuff now, right? There's a recent poll that shows that AOC will actually beat Schumer in the next election, senator election. I think like 52, 48, something like that, right? I forgot what in the primary. That's the most recent poll, and they're floating that. Another guy from I think Maryland is coming out who says he's asked Schumer to step down. They're still trying this coup. The Cory Booker stunt shut it down for like 2-3 days, but now that's gone and they're back on Schumer coup. I'm starting to get worried Schumer may go. If next week, again, I always give you by the weeks, this weekend shows, if it's about Cory Booker, Schumer's fine. If the weekend shows are about Schumer, Schumer's in trouble. The weekend shows matter. I watch them. People in DC watch them. They matter. If the talk is about Schumer, he's in trouble. If it's about Cory Booker, he's good. That's what you're gonna look at. I still think Schumer's too strong to be removed right now. I do not think he's being removed. I think they're trying, which is good for them, right? Good for Democrats. They realize the Democrats, at least, not all of them, but enough of them have realized that they're really in trouble and that just waiting for Trump to fail is not good enough. They are jumping up and down about a couple things. You hear them talk about, the Republicans are in trouble because they lost in Wisconsin. Yeah, that's a bad thing, but that was an odd election where the Democrats threw the money at it to get all their people out. But yeah, right, yeah. And I think you have a lot of Republicans now who believe, well, we've won, so we're done. Back to work now. And Republicans are not motivated to vote. They think we won. We got Trump. We got Doge. We're good. They're not paying much attention. Democrats are like, the world's ending. What do we do? And these guys said, here's how we get a win. And the Democrats showed up. And that's why that they won in Wisconsin. But the second piece is people think that Trump has great coattails. He doesn't. Neither did Obama. They don't. The only guy who had decent coattails in the last several years was Clinton. Clinton had decent coattails. Most presidents don't have great coattails. Reagan had good coattails. Reagan and Clinton had good coattails. The rest, they don't have good coattails. Mediocre at best, right? Trump is a phenomenon when he's on the ballot. When he's not in the ballot, his coattails are mediocre at best. They're not great. They're okay, but they're not great. So him saying, I back this person wasn't enough, right? And no one cares about Elon because he's the guy who they think is bad. So that was one thing. But the second piece Democrats are saying is, oh my God, the reason why Elise Stefanik is had to back out is because Democrats are afraid that Republicans are afraid that they're going to lose that seat to a Democrat. Okay. I live in New York. If you live in New York, you know where Elise Stefanik's area is. Her district is in North Country. A Democrat's not winning North Country. That's not a thing. I'm just being forward. If you know North Country, and if you live in New York, you probably do, a Democrat's not winning North Country. That's not a thing. The reason why Stefanik had to stay there is because how the New York State rules work is the governor has to decide when to do a special election. That's the truth. And Hochul was like, I'll do it whenever I want. And then Hochul went down to negotiate with Trump. Remember that? Most of you don't realize this. When she went down, one of the things she was talking about was, okay, give me what I want, and I'll make a quick election so that you can get your seat back in. And then he was like, well, I don't know. And she went, okay, then maybe I won't. So she had that card, which was the election card. So what does Trump always do? Get rid of those cards. So Trump said, oh, then Stefanik stays. And Hochul was like, damn it, that card's gone. Now that card's gone. That card is gone because Trump said, Stefanik stay. The card is gone now. Now, no one's thinking about this. I saw that immediately, right? That's the card. That's why he did that. He's like, oh, okay, card's gone. So now Hochul has no cards to play. So now Trump does what he wants. That was Hochul's card. And it was a good card. And if I was her, I would have played it too. I'm not saying she shouldn't have played it. That's the card you got. You play the card you got. She should have played that card, 100%. But she probably did it in a way that wasn't, she did it in a way that was insulting to him. She probably threatened. I wouldn't have threatened if I was her. I'd have been like, look, let me hook you up. Give me my congestion pricing. I mean, I wouldn't want it, but if I'm Hochul, I want it. I would have advised her if I was advising her, be good, be nice. Say you'll do the election next week in 3 weeks. You do it as early as possible. Give me my condition pricing. That election will happen in 3 weeks. Done. 3 weeks will happen. My Democrats will not be able to respond fast enough. You will easily win that seat back. Life is good. She didn't do that, I'm sure, because she isn't that kind of person. She went there thinking, I'm tough and I'm going to fight. She went there and Trump went, oh, okay, I'll take that card, please. And that card was gone. That's what actually happened. But they will tell you it's because they were scared. That's Democratic talking points. It's not true. They weren't scared. If you know North Country, if any of you are from that area, I know, Phil, you're not exactly, but you know the area. Mike, you know the area. You know Democrats not winning it. That's not a thing. So anyway, I've yapped away. AOC is doing the right thing. She's doing a savvy thing for herself. Cory Booker was trying to get Schumer out of the news cycle. I told you guys that yesterday. And it worked for a couple of days. The coups try to push forward still. I got to give it to them. They're not stopping. I thought they would have already given up. They're not stopping. So maybe Ed Bid, is that right? Ed Bid says, if Trump fails, we all pay the price, so I hope he succeeds. Me too. I'm with you. I want Trump to be right. I'm not saying he is, but I want him to be. I agree. Yes. James says, could you imagine if Trump and Obama both ran against each other for a third term? That would be amazing. Oh my God, would that be amazing? Because if they make that rule, that Obama, yes, and they bring Obama back, Obama would so come back. Yes, he would. Obama would so come back. Freaking Clinton would come back. Clinton would come back. You would see Bill Clinton come out. He'd be like, I'm coming out too. Bill Clinton and Obama will be in the primary. Guarantee that. They both come back. Absolutely. Yeah. You definitely see that. But yeah. But look, Obama is still loved by Democrats. He's not loved by the country anymore, but he's still loved by Democrats. So he could still win a primary. Obama to this day could still win a primary. He is still loved by Democrats. He's not loved by the country, but he's loved by Democrats. So could he win? Could he beat Trump in the general election? Maybe, but he could definitely win a primary. Guaranteed he could win a primary. The Democrats still love him. That would still work. So yes. All right, keep going here if I can. All right. James goes on to say, I ignored the Booker speech like most things. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. Yes. Shannon says, rhetorical question, what's the hope you plan to project if you have a 2026 campaign? The same thing I've been. It's my hashtag. It's my hashtag. My hashtag is a new New York. That's my hashtag. That's always been my hashtag. And that's my promise. It's a new New York. So yes. Hold on. I think I have it on my shirt. Hold on one second. I'm going to turn my camera off so I can grab my grab it. I think I actually have it. And I will show you. Let me grab my camera back on. Yes, the back of my shirt. LarrySharpe.com, which still is up with my policies, and hashtag a new New York. That is literally my front of my shirt. Back of my shirt. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So that is the hope. The hope is a new New York. Yes. So Andrew says, happy birthday, Mike. Yes. Mike, happy birthday. Absolutely. 100%. Anthony says, I think we should at least be able to opt out of Social Security or Medicare. That'd be my version of utopia. Never going to happen. Not a thing. I wish it would, right? But no, not going to happen. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's see here. Let me grab a couple more of these. Liberty Lady says, a little inside baseball. I'm happy the new chair took back the honorary LP membership of Trump issued by MAGA the Kingmaker. Yes, I don't like the honorary LP membership for Trump. I agree. That was not, I'm very glad that's over. Trump will do some libertarian things if it is part of a deal. He will. He's not against libertarian things. He will do it if it makes sense for him. Of course he will. He showed he will. He will do that. But he's not libertarian, right? He's not a libertarian. But would he do something that's libertarian? Sure. He has. And would do again. I'm sure he would. But he's not. That doesn't make him a libertarian, right? Because he has some libertarian feelings and or will do some libertarian things because of a deal doesn't make him libertarian. But to be forward, it's, Dave Smith said it. He said, that you still get more, libertarians get more out of Trump than out of Harris. That's accurate. And there's still libertarians who think Harris is better. I think that that's ideological. But I think if you just look at actual things being done, you get nothing out of Harris. As a libertarian, you get nothing out of Harris. You get two things out of Trump. Nothing out of Harris, two things out of Trump. I understand why libertarians went that route. I didn't, but I understand why they did. I get why they did. And I get why they wouldn't vote for Harris. I get it. But a lot of libertarians voted for Harris anyway because they hated Trump so much. They hated Trump so much, they voted for Harris. A lot of libertarians did. It's true. I wouldn't do that either, though. I didn't vote for Harris either. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that either. Not a thing for me. Dave says the camp is in El Salvador. Yes, but that's not for Americans. That's not for Americans. We're not there yet. So prisons are camps now. Well, then we've been fascists for decades. Then we've been fascists for decades because we've had prisons for what, now centuries now? So, yeah. Josh says both parties work for corporate. True. Absolutely. Dave says, I think Glenn Beck wanted to build this studio at the top of the Pan Am/MetLife building where the Pan Am helicopter used to land. Oh, I didn't know that. He did not tell me that. He just said in New York. So I believe you. I don't know that. He just told me in New York. And I was like, you could never do it. He's like, I could never do it. It was impossible. It was literally impossible. He could never do it. Just something he couldn't do. It would have taken so much time and cost so much money and so much taxation. And it just was so much easier in Texas. Texas is very easy to build in. It just is very easy to build in, which is why you look at cities like Houston and Dallas, which are growing, don't have a real housing problem. I mean, they have one, but nowhere near what like New York has or LA has. I mean, not even close. New York and California have far worse housing issues because you can't build. It's almost impossible to build in these states. It's very easy to build in Texas, so they don't have as much of a problem, and that's the issue. People will always say things like, we have a housing problem because you do rent or whatever. No, we have a housing problem because we can't build stuff. That's reality. That's the reality. So that's the piece. So keep going down here if I can. Dave, you got a lot to say today. Okay, Dave's busy tonight. All right. Christy Noem hasn't deported Americans to El Salvador as far as we know. Marco Rubio did suggest that El Salvador is willing to house Americans. True, willing to house them, but not yet. Not yet. We'll see. Right. And the reason why I'm so hesitant to say that, Dave, is because people have been calling, if you remember, when Obama was president, there were pictures of him with the mustache. They were calling him Hitler, right? If you remember Bush, there were signs. Bush is a Nazi. They've been calling people this for decades. It doesn't work. This is my point. It doesn't work. That's the problem. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked and it will not work. Yes. Phil says Christians don't have the political pull they did 25 years ago. It's a different world. I find it hilarious when atheists/agnostics lecture Christians on what they're supposed to believe. Yeah, right. I'm a libertarian, so you do you. I don't care. You do you. I'm totally fine with that. But you're right. The Christian right is not as powerful, right, as it has been. It's not as powerful as it has been. So, yeah, I do that. That's true. Let's see here. Grab some more of these. And it says, wouldn't it be wonderful if Pete posted the debt going down? You know what? I hope next year he can. I really do. I really hope he can. So yes. Shannon says, Tommy is the reason so many people don't even listen to people on the other side. True. Yes. Right. When Tommy insults, people don't listen. They just don't listen. They go, okay, I can't talk to him. They don't listen. So now the feeling they get, which is incorrect, because I had people on the left come on my show. You see them, right? The last time you saw a hardcore left on my show was Dan from the internet. He came over. He has a lot of views I disagree with, right? Dan openly said, I think if you do fascist stuff, you should be punished. You should either be in jail or get fined. He said it. That's his thought process. I didn't insult him. I said, I can't buy that. I disagree with that completely. I'm not that. That's not who I am. But we had a 2-hour conversation, right? You see me have it with people from the left. I don't insult them. We have a conversation. I don't insult them after they leave, right? I don't do that. You watched his chat, though. His chat was ripping me to shreds. His chat was insulting me left and right. His chat was doing what Tommy did. That's why most people on the right won't go on those shows. They won't go because they don't want to just be insulted. If you remember, Peace Logic said he went on one of the shows once, and he was like, he was shocked on how negative the chat was. I'm like, I'm not. Every time I go on the left side of shows, I get roasted by the chat. The right doesn't. The right will get mad at me, but they'll like to talk about issues. The left will just dismiss me. And before I open my mouth, like I'll say hi, and they'll introduce me as a libertarian, and then just boom, boom, insult, the entire chat. Nothing but insults. Yes. And they haven't heard me say anything. I mean, maybe I am a jerk. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I got the wrong answers. You can hear me first. And to be forward, again, I'm talking about Dave Smith today for some reason. I don't used to talk about Dave Smith at all, but today I am. Dave Smith said this at the LP convention last year when people came to talk and the libertarians just booed. And he said, you couldn't even listen to what he had to say first. You just started booing him. You couldn't have said what was good and what wasn't bad, booed at the bad stuff and said yay for the good stuff. And he was kind of right. I should agree with the things that I agree with and disagree with the ones I disagree with. It's what I should be doing. So yes, listening is important. So yes. The VA lady over on Rumble says, Larry, can you please mention specifically about your Rumble page at Larry Sharpe? We're really trying to grow the channel, especially since the new lineup is messing with viewers during the live stream. This is true. Rumble has a system of lineup of people who they support. And it's one of them is not me, damn them. What was wrong with you, Rumble people? It should be me, and it isn't. That's a problem. So what are we going to do? Well, we have to fix that. How do we fix that? By you guys going over to Rumble and following me on Rumble. If you have a Rumble account, you have to go follow me on Rumble. If you follow me on Rumble, I'll get past 400 or 500 followers on Rumble, and they'll have to stop paying attention to me because then I'd start becoming a serious player. Well, I'm going to call myself that. Not sure if I am or not. Speaking of Rumble, you know who else is on Rumble? Mike Voss is on Rumble too. No sound bites allowed. You can watch on Rumble if you want to, or on YouTube, either one. Doesn't matter who's on both of them. 10 a.m. on Sunday, I will be there. He'll be on because he's insane. He will be on from 9 to 9 for 12 hours. I'm not joking. He will be on for 12 hours. Yes, he will. He does a show that's like 5 hours long, like every other week, 6 hours long, whatever. Insane. He's gone like 7 hours. Yes, I said he is insane. He's still my brother and I love him, but he's a crazy brother that I love. And he'll be on for 12 hours from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I will be on at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. I will be on at 10 a.m. So if you want to watch him, you got a 12-hour window. Enjoy. If you want to watch me and him, you got to come on at 10. So come on at 10. No sound bites allowed. This Sunday, 10 a.m. I'll be on for at least an hour, maybe longer. Depends how long he can keep me. We'll see. If he yells at me a lot, I might want to yell back. I might stay up for like 2 hours. Possible. Depends. We'll see. But either way, I'll be on for at least an hour. We'll see what happens. So please check us out there. He'll be on Rumble and YouTube, whichever you prefer. He's raising money for a very good cause. It's Jericho Project here in New York City. They support veterans who are in trouble with housing. So please, he's raising money. Follow Mike. He's a good guy. He's on here all the time. He's been a friend of mine for years. And let me tell you something else about Mike real fast if I can. So I got him here. Mike did something very special. And that is when I ran for governor in 2018, Mike was a Republican, hardcore Republican. He still is. But he supported my run. The Republicans did not want him to support my run. They didn't. And he had a choice of going, you know what? I'm going to ignore this Larry Sharpe guy. I'm not going to hang out with him because Republicans are going to be mad at me. He didn't do that. He supported me anyway. He still gave me airtime. He still showed up at my events. Mike was still there for me, even when he didn't have to be. Even when it was harmful for his political. He paid a political price for that. He did. You ask him, he'll tell you. He paid a political price for that. But he didn't care. He did because he thought it was right. That's the kind of guy Mike is. It's one of the reasons why he's still my friend, but we're still close to this day from that. And that was, 7 years ago? And we're still close to this day. So I'll be there on Sunday. If you can, please support Mike. Sunday, 10 a.m. No sound bites allowed. All righty. Let me keep going back, grab some more comments. A lot of comments are popping up here, and I want to grab them if I can. Let's see here. Peace Logic, there he is. Happy 600. Just joining. Time flies. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Thank you, Peace. Thank you for $2. I appreciate it, my friend. I'm very happy that you're here and on board. So yes. Hirsch for real says, it's sad that the two most popular Democrats aren't even Democrats. They're Marxist socialists. Bernie is. I'm not sure what AOC is, Hirsch. I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure if she really is some type of sellout. Does she not know yet? Has she not? I mean, to be forward, she's only like 35 or whatever she is. She's young, right? I'm not sure if she is or not. I would like her to make a decision, but yes. Mike says, thank you for mentioning my birthday live stream. Was walking the dog and just heard you mention it. I appreciate the support. Of course, brother. Of course. Yes, I just talked more about you. Yes, I was. Absolutely. Cage John, thank you for the $5. Larry, what/were is your happy place, activity, etc. that gives you the balance in your life and keeps you level-headed? Happy number 600. I have struggled with that recently, to be forward with you, Cage John. I have struggled with that recently. These last couple of months have been very difficult for me on a personal note. My team knows. It's very difficult for me on a personal note. So it's been harder for me to do this kind of work. It's been difficult for me to do so. And it does put me sometimes in a bad headspace because I have to do so many things. The hardest thing for me is what I do for a living is so varied, right? If you have a standardized job, a 9-to-5 job, most people do similar things throughout the day and throughout the week. Something similar. You're in a similar world, similar idea, whatever. Most people do. I literally do something extremely different like every other hour. I'm not joking. Like I will be talking to a lawyer and talking about how to do an opening statement for a couple of hours. Then right after that, I'm talking to a small business owner on how to market. And then right after that, I'm talking to an executive on how to handle this board. Right after that, I'm helping to raise money for a PAC. Right after that, I'm talking to a politician who's deciding if he wants to run for, a local government or not. That's the kind of stuff I do often on a daily basis. And then people call me in the middle of the day for different things. Friends call me for help or advice. My brain is all over the place. It's why I struggle. And my team knows this. It's why I struggle to get stuff done sometimes because I'm so everywhere. And what stress is in your brain is non-focus. You got to focus yourself. So what I try to do, believe it or not, is I try to do a couple of things. One, I step away, one thing, and I will cook for my daughter. I know it sounds weird, but true. I'll cook for my daughter. Like I'll go off and I'll cook for my daughter. Gets my mind off of things. I won't listen to anything. Or I'll also, the second thing I'll do is I'll find a reason to run an errand locally in New York City. Like I walked everywhere I go, right? So I'll find a reason to run an errand. Like I'll just go get some milk or something, right? I'll literally just purposely just go walk and do that to get my mind cleared on when I can just get myself back into the right headspace. If I don't do that well, I can't go to sleep at night because my mind is still going constantly. And then if I wake up early in the morning, I stay up because I have things I have to do. So I want to jump on things. I'm always behind. I'm always behind all the time, which I'm not mad about anymore. I've accepted that I'm always behind, no matter what. I'm always behind, guaranteed. I'm never going to be up to speed. I'm never going to be up to speed ever. So I've accepted that the rest of my life, never going to happen. That I've accepted. So I think getting away from it is helpful for me for short periods of time. That's one thing I do. And the other thing is I really like learning. Learning is something I seriously enjoy. So I will take time out and just sit on my couch and watch an educational video or something like that, or hang out with my daughter and watch an educational video, or sit on my computer, watch an educational video. That's a common thing I do. Why do I know so many things? I like to do that. My happy place is sitting back and watching a video on the economics of Japan. I'm not joking. That's like a thing that I do. And I will enjoy that very much, which is why you guys often ask me, how do you know so much about this or that? Because I spend hours every day listening to stuff, figuring stuff, asking people. I'll get on the phone. Michael teased me, like, you on the phone with that guy? Yeah, I'm on the phone with that guy. Because I want this guy I want to know what's happening. I want to understand these people, what's going on. So I do a lot of phone calls. And the issue I have is because who I am, when I get in the phone with somebody, it's often an hour because they want to keep talking. They want to keep asking questions. I want information. So yeah, it is challenging. So anyway, I hope I answered your question at least. That's what I try to do. I can't, the next piece, I'll add one more piece. When I get into bad headspaces, which I do, I think we all do, I do also, I try to remember that the worst year of my life was 2010. That was the worst year of my life. And I have a saying that I tell myself, which is, at least it's not 2010. And the at least it's not 2010 makes me go, okay, it isn't that bad. because I thought 2010 was the end of the world. I believe that. 2010 was the year I contemplated suicide. That is how bad 2010 was for me. It was a terrible year for me. And it's not that. So I'm good, right? If I could survive that and it's not that, I'm good. The next thing I do, and you're getting me thinking a lot of the stuff that I do, is I fast, which makes people think I'm crazy, but that's I fast. I just did a 2-day fast. Like I didn't eat for 2 days. So I'll eat breakfast one day, and then I won't eat breakfast for 2 days. Then I'll eat 2 days later. And all I'll have is water and black coffee for 2 days. What does that do? That makes me feel like I am, and I learned that, by the way, in 2010. When I control my diet, it gives me control of something. And when I begin to get control of something, it helps me to get control of other things. So I think all those 3 things. Was that helpful? I don't know if it was, but it's true either way. If it's not helpful, it's still true. So I try to give you the real answers. Phil, thank you for $2. Happy 600. Have you been used? I think you mean, have I used AI for real work? All the time. I use AI every day. Every day. I use it to create artwork. I use it to create written work. I use it for research. I use AI every day. I've been pushing my daughters both in using AI too. And one of them's in school. And she's like, well, Dad, if I start using AI, they won't count it. I said, then they're stupid. The world's going to AI. If your school isn't using AI, then your school's stupid. Ignore your school. Use AI. I don't care. Use it. Just because they're dumb and schools don't get that that's the future, that's stupid. You should be using AI. AI, I use it every single day, all the time. It is the future. It's not going away. We use it. Yeah, the team uses it too. Every day. I use AI every single day without question, all the time. It is the answer for research. It's the answer for writing. For anyone who writes, you know that editing is easier than creation, right? Editing is always easier. Use AI to put the draft up and then edit it. And you get written stuff done half the time because you're not creating anymore. You're now just editing. A whole lot easier. I mean, a whole lot easier. And then once you edit, AI can proofread. I don't require proofread anymore. Put into AI, proofread. Done. There's my editing. I edit, it proofreads. Done and done. Your writing can be done so much faster, right? Artwork can be done 5 seconds. Done. Artwork can be done. So yeah, I use it constantly. It's the answer. If you have kids in school and the teacher's going, don't use AI. Your teachers are just stupid. They're just backward because they're teachers and they're just backward. Terrible. Your kid should be training AI. Your kid should be using AI every single day. Within 2 years, AI will be the norm in every business. Guaranteed within 2 years. Maybe within a year. For sure within 2 years. It is the norm. And AI-controlled robots will be in factories this year. By the end of this year, AI-controlled robots will be in factories. Within 5 years, they'll be in homes. I'm not joking. You will have your personal robot in your home for, I don't know, 20 grand. You'll buy like a car, right? You buy it on time. It'll be like 20, 30 grand, whatever cars cost. It'll be like that. This will be. And people will be buying them and putting them on time, paying $400 a month or whatever the mortgage is on your robot. It'll be in your house. So yes, AI is everything. They should use it. Should be used. Yes, every day. Hope that answers your question. So yes. Phil says the North Country has college towns. Respect the machine. Yes, it has some college towns, correct, but you know they ain't winning. You know they're not. You know that. Come on. Pete says, need some inside baseball eye with the Democratic Party in shambles and Trump playing Russian roulette with the economy. The Libertarian Party ready to take the shit over, or they still virtue signaling? Still virtue signaling. There's nowhere near ready. Nowhere near ready, Pete. The only way they would be able to take over is if they have an amazing candidate at the top. And I gave them that. I'm not gonna get triggered. But I gave them the candidate, Pete, last year, the right answer to fix this. And they went, no, we want a virtue signal. So I didn't get triggered, Mike. So until that candidate comes in 2028, whoever that candidate is, then maybe. Until then, no. Yes. Hurt says, Trump will get clobbered in the midterms, and I'm a Trump fan. Maybe. Again, what he's saying, I'm not saying it was true. I'm saying what he's saying. What he's saying is it's going to happen within 2 years. If that's true, that won't happen. If it's not, you're right, Hirsch. Yes, depends. 100%. So, all righty. Let's see here. John says, Eric, I live really close to St. Larry's Bar. Oh, yeah, St. Larry's Bar. I go there. That's in St. Lawrence County. Correct. That's in St. Lawrence County, which, by the way, is the largest county by area in New York State. St. Lawrence County is the largest county by area in New York State. Yes, I do go there, 100%. So yeah, and North Country's not going blue. That's not a thing. You live there, you know. Hirsch, Capital District could go blue, of course, but you know North Country, that's not going blue. That's not going to happen. Absolutely. So yeah. Anyway, Hirsch says Trump would beat Obama. The blue moves off the rose. I agree. Yeah. Absolutely, I agree. But he could win. Hirsch, he could win a primary, and that's my point. I think he could definitely win a primary. That's for sure. Yeah. Dave says, Larry, if Republicans were scared of North Country, they are probably stupid. I think they were afraid of a non-Trumpican could win the seat. That's possible, but the front runner at the time, when they were going to do this election, was a hardcore Trumpster. If you remember the front runner, this is a true story. He literally put on his building, the guy's wealthy, he's got a business. I forgot what his business is, but he put a Trump sign on top of his building. It was a neon sign. So it was a Trumpster. It was a Trumpster. So maybe, but no, the guy who was going to win, if it wasn't Stefanik, was also a Trumpster. I mean, hardcore. Literally has a Trump sign, neon light on top of his work building. So yeah, I get it, but that wasn't going to happen. Yeah. All righty. Mike goes on to say, Dems are trying to get Michelle grift off Obama women and race to be popular. No one's buying it. Michelle Obama is still loved by Democrats. That's true. And she can move a crowd, but she's not a politician, right? And that's why she's not running. Michelle Obama is smart enough to know that she's not a good politician, right? She gets that. In fact, she didn't want Obama being a politician, right? Which was silly because Obama's a great speaker and can move a crowd. Michelle also can move a Democratic crowd. You put Michelle in front of Democratic donors, she's cleaning that room up. She absolutely is. She's cleaning the room up. But that's all the place that she survived. You notice, Mike, that's her skill set right there. You get her out of that, she's not doing great. You can see her show is not going well. She's not great, except in that spot, right? If I'm a Democrat and I'm running, and I got a fundraiser, I want Michelle Obama in that room. I want her to with that crowd. She's going to empty that crowd out. That's what I want. Outside of that, you can stay home, right? You got to know where she's good at, and she's good in that spot. That's where she shines, right there. So, all right. Straight End says over on Rumble, the AI bots can't live on keto. Keto is magic. You can get rid of AI bots by being on keto. Told you guys that. I've been telling you keto is magic for weeks. Just got to get it. That's it. That's all. So, all right. Stelline says Texas still has reasonable housing prices in rural areas. In cities, also relative to other cities, right? Obviously, the city prices are higher than rural areas. But like if you took housing in Houston or housing in Dallas versus housing in New York City or LA. So yes, Texas is much easier to build. Yes, it's much easier to build, 100%. So, all righty. Robert Reed says, Booker managed to speak for 20 plus hours, 25 actually, and still found a way to say nothing of importance. Correct. If anything, he cemented the idea that Democrat ideals are stale. Accurate. It's going away, Robert. You're right. He's got maybe a week of shine on that, maybe, and that's it. That's all he's got. Maybe a week of shine. Nothing else. Yes. Michael says, I liked your explanation of why libertarians voted for Trump. I can identify as one of those people for those very reasons. Yes. I'm disappointed about things and happy about some. Ross is free. Agreed. And people, this is the problem with the Libertarian Party. We won't even understand each other. So Pete asked if the Libertarian Party is ready to take over. No, we're still mad at each other. Because how dare you vote for the guy that I don't want you to vote for? How dare you? How dare you not virtue signal in the way that I want you to virtue signal? How dare you not do that? Yeah, you're totally correct. That shouldn't be, yeah, totally correct. Absolutely. So, all righty. Duke of Hex says, thank you for $2. I'm in the trades, so don't see me using AI. Okay. All right. I think you will see that begin to happen in the trades, but you'll see it happen in creation of tools. You'll see that happen. You also may have it on how to repair and fix things for newbies, right? So now if you're in a trade, say you're a master tradesman and you're bringing on some newbies, they may use AI to get up to speed. It may be an AI that you trained. So you will have trained your AI for your company. Then when they're out, they will use the AI to solve problems if the master isn't there, right? If the master isn't there, the AI will supplement. So it will happen. Maybe not right now, but by next year, Duke, I'll guarantee you, you will see it in that realm. They're going to go on their phone or their whatever their device is. You might in theory, even have proprietary devices that are for every large company, right? So you're a plumber, you're a house builder, you're a carpenter, whatever you might be, right? You're a welder, and you might have, oh, that's the situation. What do I do? And the AI will be like, and it'll say, Duke of Hex says, Duke of Hex has done. He would agree to. Here's how. First step, second step, pop right up. So I think you will find up using it. It won't be like what I'm using it for, but yeah, even that you'll see. You will find that master tradesmen will have AI assistants. I'm not joking. They will have AI assistants. Yes, that's going to happen. Lunatic says, thank you for $2. What's your favorite color crayon? Red is the tastiest. Just saying, it's the tastiest. It is. Not purple. Red's the tastiest. Just saying, it is. My Marine Corps color is red. Yes. Marine Corps color is red. Yes. So anyway. All righty. That hope I answered your question. So, all right. Let's see. NBA, my VA lady says over on Rumble, I will probably see you there. I think Larry will be on at 10 a.m. Mike is going from 9 to 9. Correct. He's going on to 9. Again, Mike's crazy, so that's why he'll do that. I'm not that crazy. But yes, that's true. All righty. Andrea says, I like Mike. I may not always agree with him, but he's open to honest discussion. True. True. Liberty says, here's Mike on Rumble. There we go. Follow my Rumble if you like. There we go. Mike says, that was sweet, Larry. True, and almost got a tear from my cold Republican eyes. Aww. There we go. He is cold. No, he's not. He's cold in front of you guys. That's true. He's cold in front of you guys. That's true. Yes. Celine says, AOC is so far from true liberal values. Most Dems are now. True. They lost the best ones like Kennedy and Gabbard. And here's the worst part. And I think you see it if you watch Nicole Shanahan talk. Nicole Shanahan, when she talked to the Democratic Party, she is obviously bothered. Like she's angry because Nicole Shanahan still believed in the party. She thought it was the party that she grew up in. She thought it was the party RFK Jr. grew up in. She still believed it. She believed the hype. She did. You might laugh, but it's true. She believed it. And then she saw that, to your point, Celine, it's not libertarian or liberal or even liberal values at all. The Democratic Party is establishment. That's what it is. It's establishment. And when she saw that, she was hurt, bothered by it. She'll tell you stories. If you watch any of her stuff, you'll see it there, right? And it's why Kennedy and Gabbard left. Kennedy was a Democrat 2 years ago. He still thought he said it. He thought he could bring the party back. He's like, I'm a Kennedy. I'll bring the party back. I can do it. I can make it the party, the Democratic Party of the 70s, of the 80s. I could do that again. That's what he believed. Clearly he was wrong, but that's what he believed. And I get it. Look, I've felt the same way many times, right? I can fix it. You can't always fix it, but he did believe it. And I think a lot of people, that's why Kennedy's gone, Gabbard's gone. They're all gone. The Democratic Party has lost a lot of its people, and it's because they've been, I said it before, I'll say it again. You want to fix the Democratic Party, you had to do one thing last year, run a primary. Run an honest primary. What did they do? They wouldn't do it. Control was more important. Control was more important. Lunatic, thank you for the $5. Larry, justified, red. But can you reject standing in line? I've never seen a ship, only crew serve weapons. What? Never seen a ship, only crew serve weapons? You've never been on a ship as a CB? I've been on many ships. Yes, I've been on many of them. Carriers and troop ships and landing ships, helo ships. I've been on many of them. Yes, and you do stand in line because everything that comes in line, you've got to stand in line. You've got to salute and request permission to come aboard every single time. You salute the officer of the day and you salute the flag, which is always, at the stern, and request permission to come aboard. And he just stands there and salutes and goes, granted, granted. Granted. Meaning you request permission to come aboard. Granted. Request permission to come aboard. Granted. And it's just a line of Marines coming on the ship. It's true. He's not wrong. That's how you get on a ship. The Marines line up and you request each person individually, request permission, salute, go on. That's literally how you get on a ship. So yes, not everyone knows that, but thank you. He knows that though, yes. Straight in, thank you for the $2 over on Rumble for the ranch. AI will become the master. 3 years ago, an interviewee said he would use a YouTube video to find repair solutions. Even the seniors agreed this was a good answer. AI is the next takeover. Yes, but someone has to train it, straight in, right? So yes, but someone has to train it. It won't just know what the companies and what the guys want to know. It won't know automatically, right? So someone has to train it. Now, in theory, could it watch videos and learn from the videos? Yes. But the question is, do you, as a business owner or master tradesman, do you know what videos that you want to use? So again, you will, even if you pick videos, you have to pick the videos that say, this is the way I want things done. This is what we do in this company. This is how we act. So yes, but there's still, remember, any technology straight is better than the human being. In almost any case, it's going to be better. But what's better than technology? Human plus technology. That group together, right? I go back as old as the horse and the plow, right? A plow is better than a human. Yeah. So you use a plow. Great. Now it works. A horse on a plow. Great. What's better? The human guiding the horse, right? Same concepts. Same concepts. So yes, but you still have to train it. You have to decide what matters there. So yeah. Alrighty. Duke of Hex, thank you for the $5. If AOC is seen as the future of the Democratic Party, she will have to trade in her idealism to serve the machine as the next Pelosi. Maybe. I think what a lot of Democrats want is they want a left-leaning, more controllable Trump for Democrats, right? I'm not joking when I say that. Trump has successfully fought the establishment. Now, again, I say it all the time, the establishment in the Republican Party is not gone. They are still there, and he still struggles with them, but he has fought successfully. He basically, in his first term, wrestled them to a draw. He is now winning the battle, but the battle is not over. The establishment has not gone away, and that's why you still see him fighting through things, giving in here, giving in there, because it isn't easy. The Democrats would like someone, AOC or whomever, right, to be able to be like that, but be more controllable, right? That's what they would like. So I don't think they want Pelosi 2.0. They don't want Pelosi 2.0. They don't want Schumer 2.0. They don't want that. They want controllable Trump Jr. Democrat. That's what they want. Now, will they get that? I don't know, right? I don't know how controllable AOC is. My gut says if she's the one, she's going to be very prideful, right? She'd be very young and in control. That screams prideful, right? So she'll be very prideful. Will she be controllable? I don't know. So I don't think the establishment that would want the next Pelosi doesn't want AOC at all. They want someone like Cory Booker. They do not want AOC at all. So if AOC comes aboard, it will be to fight the establishment, which means the people who want her, they don't want Trump. They don't want that. That's too far for Democrats. They don't want that. They want like a Trump-like person who they can control. That's what they want. Now, can they get that? I don't know. To be very forward, I wish I had an answer for that. I don't know if they can get that. But that's what they want. The establishment does not want AOC at all. And the non-establishment wants Trump light, not Trump. I hope that makes sense at least. That's what they're trying to achieve. So, yes. All righty. Mike says, I've never thought you were crazy because of fasting. Yes, you do. We talk about you like, you fasting again. You give me shit all the time. Yes, you do. He does. He's saying that, but he does. He gives me shit about it. It's like fasting again. Yeah, he does. He gives me shit about it. He does. You're the one who said when I was talking about keto, you're like, no, you got to eat, would you cheeseburger? What you told me I got to eat a cheeseburger or something? Isn't that what you said? Come on now. Ingrid said, sending affection to you, Larry, that you struggle from time to time. You offer hope to people. I try to be very open about this, right? The advantage I was talking to somebody today, and I told them, I said, I'm sometimes surprised how well known I am. I don't always realize it because my show is not that popular. Right? People watch, but not crazy. Right? I'm not like I'm Joe Rogan or something. But I sometimes get recognized on the street when I see, like, my representatives don't know who I am. Like, if I see them in the street, I wave to them, I know who I am. Like, I saw AOC on the street the other day, and she like knew who I was. So like that, AOC is my congressperson. So like I saw her, and like I knew who they know who I am. So I get surprised sometimes when I see that. But the reason why I think that is I recognize the disadvantage to being in New York City. If I spend my time around libertarians, I'm very well known in the libertarian world. I'm also well known in the independent world. I'm known in those sectors very, very well. But I walk in the street, I'm some dude. I'm some guy. And I like that. I like being humbled because, as I said, 2010 was my worst year. And in 2010 is when I really it really hit me hard when I recognized that fate will smack you whenever fate decides. It doesn't matter how smart you are, doesn't matter how rich you are, doesn't matter if you're upper class, doesn't matter if you're working class, it does not matter. Man, woman, how old you are. If fate wants to smack you, you getting smacked. That's it. And the question is how you defend yourself. You can't. If fate wants to smack you, you're getting smacked. That's how it works. And the question is, how do you handle it when you get smacked? What do you do when fate smacks you? And sometimes fate is a little tap, and sometimes it winds up and smacks the shit out of you. All depends on what it decides. And you're getting it. You can't stop it. How are you going to handle it? And I learned that hard. The crash of 2008, 2009, I still had enough hubris to think, no, I'm smarter than this. I can get around this. This can't get me. I was way wrong. And boy, was that humbling. And that humbling has never left me. That was 15 years ago. And that humbling has never left me. Like I got humbled hard, and I never forgot that. And I'm still to this day, I'm like, fate can smack me whenever it wants to, whenever it feels like it. I hope it doesn't feel like it. That's it. I keep moving on, and I hope it doesn't want to smack me, because when it wants to, it will. You too, Ingrid, everybody else watching, listening, if fate wants to smack you, it will smack you. You just getting smacked. So how do you handle it? That's the issue. So I don't mind telling people that. I don't mind being humbled. I am human, and I wish I was perfect. That'd be amazing if I was perfect, but I'm not. I'm just some dude. So thank you for that. And I hope that me saying that makes other people you might think you perfect. You're not either. Just saying, you're not either. And when fate wants to smack you, it will smack you when it decides to. And you got to figure out what you're going to do about that. Because when fate wants to smack you, as I said, you're getting smacked. That's it. Mastermind says next will be robot cops and soldiers. I do not want robot cops. I do want robot soldiers, though. I do. I go to a point where I think I don't actually want us to make a new fighter jet. I hate it. We should be making drones. Why do we have pilots in our airplanes? Can't stand it. Yes. Cannot stand it. Yes. Mike says AI after base knowledge is a tool. AI as knowledge is the fastest way to mental slavery. True. Unless we integrate, Mike. Maybe Elon's going to get us to have all them chips in your head. See that? You won't get it. Mike ain't getting no chip in his head. That ain't going to happen. Mike's never doing that. But people will. Mike won't. But people will. They'll put a chip in their head. Before you know it, yes. Absolutely. But I'm okay with robot soldiers. The Chinese are already doing that. They got Chinese, them dog soldiers. They already got it already. And I'm like, fine. Do the Chinese dog soldiers. I'm fine with that. I don't want robot cops. I don't want that. Yeah. That's literally like RoboCop. I'm going to pass. Yeah. So Liberty says, sounds like the movie iRobot. I'll pass. Yes, iRobot is going to happen. Yes. Literally iRobot's going to happen. Yes. That's accurate. 100%. Yes. So you don't have to like it. You don't have to get one, but people will get them. Somebody's going to get them. Like, it's going to happen, right? Someone's going to get that chip in their head. It won't be me or Mike. I'm not putting it in my head either. Me and Mike are not going to have chips in our heads. However, I guarantee you people are going to put chips in their heads. happily volunteer for it. Guaranteed that's going to happen. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Tradan says, no, not the Borg Nation. Sadly, yeah. I think we may be having the Borg Nation. That's possible. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. So yes. All right. Michael says, I'm in 21, extremely red, and Anthony would have won easily. Yes. Oh, so you know the guy. Yes, Michael, you're right. Yes, exactly right. That was the guy's name. Yeah, right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, easily. 100%. Yes. 100%. So, all right. Let's keep going here. Dave says, Michelle isn't Hillary, and many Democrats are not like Hillary. I think Michelle knows that. Correct. Yes, I think you're right, Dave. She is very good in that one spot, right? She's very good at that one spot, which is getting money out of Democrats. That is her skill set. If you are a Democrat and you want money out of Democrats, call her, and if she'll come, you're in good business. That's where she survives. The rest, it's okay. It's okay. Christine agrees. Red crayons are the best. Yep. Andrea says red's the best. Correct. Accurate. See, lunatic? Accurate. We all know. Absolutely. All righty. Ingrid says, AI is the future. As an OT or supply teacher, I encourage students to use it, even as a local board discourages it. There we go. Educators are Luddites. Yes. Got to use it anyway. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. 100%. So, all righty. Celine goes on to say, I really like Nicole. Thank you for being a member, by the way, Celine. I left after Obama's first term, and I know the disappointment of knowing they were no longer my party. It's gotten worse since then. Yes, it has. Most Democrats are not happy, right? They're not happy, but they still stay because that's all they know. But some are leaving. Yes, some are leaving. Already brought that one up. Sorry about that. Already brought that one up. Yes. All right. Lunatic says, I'm a master tradesman. AI rejected. Well, yeah, but I think the future is that, though, right? The future is master tradesmen are going to have AI assistants, and they're going to use AI to push that. Yes. Kajon says, Larry would see some kind of fireside chat in the Sharpe White House. And thank you for your previous answer. Yeah. I got this idea. I did when I ran for governor in 2018, I did the Gov Shack show. I tried to do it every week whenever I could. So I would tell people about what's happening, what I was thinking, all those things, right? I was thinking about that. And I got it, actually, but not from Rudy Giuliani. Yes, the former mayor of New York. He used to do a show every Thursday on WOR radio, 7:10 a.m. I don't know if it still exists, but it used to back then. It was the 90s. And he would do a show every Thursday. And people would call in. And they'd be like, there's a light out, or stop sign fell down on 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn. Oh, okay. And he would tells people, okay, we'll fix it. Like, it was a back and forth with people from New York. He did an hour every Thursday, like 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. But a guy named John Gambling, that was the guy who ran that show. And I thought, that's amazing. So when I was running, I thought, I'm going to copy that. Bloomberg, by the way, copied him. Bloomberg kept it. De Blasio ended it. But Bloomberg started doing it too. De Blasio ended it. But it was a great idea. You got to connect with the people every single week. Bloomberg, on purpose, used to take the subway in. He rode the subway every day. Bloomberg is a billionaire. He rode the subway every day. Why? He wanted to understand the subway. He wanted to meet the people. By the way, so did Giuliani. Right? De Blasio didn't. But they did. They wanted to meet the actual people. I do too. Why do you think when I go out, John, and I meet people, I meet them in diners? I want to meet the people. Why do I do the show? I can meet people. Yes, absolutely. Why do I do the member show? So I can have the members on the show with me. Yes. How can I know what people are thinking if I don't talk to them? Unless I'm an elitist and I think I know better, and what they think doesn't matter. See? If I'm an elitist and what people think doesn't matter, why would I bother meeting with these poors? These poors don't matter. I know better than them. So why would I meet with them? No, I want to meet with the people. Always. Michael says, yes, double cheeseburger with the bacon and wasabi. Yeah, see? Absolutely. 100%. I knew that was true. Yeah. So, all righty. Let's see here. Let me grab a couple more of these if I could. All righty. Let's see here. That's to Michael. That's not to me. Michael said, I've been a libertarian for over 10 years. It's hard to be a libertarian when the duopoly has total control and makes it impossible for people to compete with it. Yes. Correct. Mastermind says, robots killing humans sounds like a bad business model. We're doing it now. We drone strike people all the time. This robot's killing people. Right? We drone strike now. We're doing it already. Why not? I'm not saying you're wrong, but we're doing it already. That terrible, dystopia is now. So yeah, we're doing it already. I just don't want us being killed. That's what I'm saying. Liberty says, Larry thinks he's some dude. I consider him a Liberty mentor and I value his opinions. Oh, thank you. I'm part of his team because I believe in him. Oh, I get offended when I see people attack Larry online. They do, though. You will see it. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. Yep. Kim says, that Liberty lady. Yes, I hate to see Larry on a left-leaning show and they bash him. Makes me spitting mad. They do. Yes, they do. Phil says, using Grok to write a story. I've got the story burning. Yeah, I love it. That's the point. Yes, 100%. Absolutely. Shane says, thank you for, oh, Shane, how are you, my friend? So good to see you. Petitioning this year versus 2021 is a stark contrast. So many registered Dems who say they're never voting Democrat again. Yes, it's a common thing. A lot of Democrats have walked away. I agree. I mean, they really used to walk away, 100%. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. Duke of Heck says, thank you for $2. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Am I wrong? No, you're right. It does. Absolutely true. I see it constantly. Yes, I see it constantly. It is crazy. Kim asks, oh, turn to Phil, is that AI free or monthly cost? You can do both. AI is relatively cheap. Relatively. You can get I think ChatGPT 4.0, I think it's like $20 a month, which again, or you can get it free. Either one. It's free, or you can pay $20 a month. And yes, it will make art. It will make art. It will make pictures. It will write for you, do all the things. It will do research for you, everything. My youngest daughter is trying to write, so I'm trying to get her to use ChatGPT to give her outlines. Ask her to put an outline together so she can start writing more, right? Because one of the hardest things you can do is start. It's hard. So that allows her to start. I think that part is great. Guys, I'm going to ask you one more time, if you would please click the button known as like. It does matter. Click it. It matters. Every single click does matter. Please do so. If you have not reposted, if you have not shared, please share. Please repost it. It does matter. Please follow me on Facebook, on X, and Rumble. It does matter. If you have not gone to the Sharpe Way YouTube page and subscribed, why do you hate the children? Do so and select all notifications. If you can get over to Rumble and follow me on Rumble so I can get past that 500 mark, that'd be awesome too. It does matter. And no matter what, I will see you at 10 a.m. on Sunday. No sound bites allowed. I will see you on 10 a.m. Sunday. No sound bites allowed. Me and Mike Voss talking trash. I'll give him crap about the cheeseburger, probably, or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure out something. It'll be great. It's his birthday. He's going to be 21 finally, so he can finally drink. He can throw away that fake ID. That'll be amazing. Guys, when I'm done with this, do me a favor and please put in the comments what you think about AI. Please put in it what you think about AI. It really does matter. I will see you all very soon.